Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.
Wow, Patrick, way to go. We put together this thing done by Harold Payne. That's a piece of the song. So, way to go. That's the grand new opening to the show. I'm Jeanne Robertson, and here we are in Burlington, North Carolina on a Saturday at noon. And this is the 18th time we've had Jeanne live from the back porch. Last week, of course, we were not on this back porch. We were at the ocean, and I thought we'd be sitting there with the ocean behind us. It didn't work out quite that way, but we had a good time anyway, and thanked everybody for hanging in there with us. This is a very special show. We got crammed full of things, and we're going to get a couple of things that we want to talk to you about first. And I noticed how when it's not the best news, I shuffle it right on over to Tony. Tony, would you come up here and take a seat a minute and tell them what's happening?
See if you can get my iPad working.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all know Tony. She's run my office for 42 years.
Good.
So
why are we on that big TV?
I know. Where'd that come from? Look at that little bitty camera right there. Okay. Now tell them.
Okay. If you've tried to order a book or even get on JeanneRobertson.com in the last couple of days, you've probably had an issue come up on your computer and say this is not secure or something like that. And we have the gurus working on this. Our site is secure, but it is not showing secure with all of the different browsers that are out there now. So that's all being updated, and they tell me they haven't done anything different right now, but I can't get on it. So I'm assuming you probably can't either.
So we're not selling anything.
If you want a book, call me. But hopefully by the first of the week, this will be straightened out and we'll be all up to date and won't show insecure for anybody.
And the reason we got it, we're upgrading, of course, is upgrading. We're upgrading is, of course, y'all said sometimes it showed that it wasn't secure, and they're telling us it is, but my equipment's got to go higher. So it's all being taken care of.
So if you'd like to order and you want to call, give me a call. I will return your call if I don't answer it when you call. And otherwise, we're not going to run out of books. So you can order next week sometime.
The one with the arrows are close to being run out, but then we can get
right. We'll have more books, but we won't run out. We'll be good. Okay, is that all I have to do? Thank you.
That's all you have to do today. The other thing I wanted to mention is, well, apparently y'all have caught on too. There's some guys so far we think that get on and they'll say, I like the way your voice rings, or I like the way it has a.
I like the way you talk.
Well, I know, and they'll say, write me back, and so they go right down the line. They put everybody who makes a comment. So rest assured, the second we see that, we block them. They take them out. And some of you have written and said, hey, this guy right here is harassment on them. So we do know that goes on. I guess it's part of the internet world.
They're catfishing.
Patrick, are you doing this?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay, good. And today we have a special, or the one other question you're asking, and this is kind of funny. We didn't think about these 1 hour live events, people watching them over and over and again. But for example, between yesterday and today, the show we did with Beaver 2 weeks ago has over 1,000 hits. That means 1,000 people went back and are still watching all of them. So on the left of your screen, this is what your questions have become. When you're on Facebook, for example, there's a list of things you can do, hit videos, and they all come up, and you can sure watch them again for some reason, or if you had to work and you missed it. Now, we have a special guest
Before the guest, you want to mention the sign in the yard?
Oh, yes, I do. Are you going to throw it up on the screen?
Go ahead and
got an email this morning from one of my new friends through all of this, Linda Cream from Springfield, Missouri. She is a character. She's the Twitter queen. She does all these things. And her husband, Mr. Bruce, and her best friend, Miss Georgia. I mean, they're all. Well, so this morning I got an email that says, have you been in your front yard? And I thought, no, I haven't. And she said, you should go. And I went out there. Can you throw the picture up? And this was in my front yard. Huge. And of course, I said, oh, these are mine. It says, keep laughing, Jeanne. And it's all across the whole front yard. And no, I think she rents these and they pick them up. I'm late to the party. because you're here and we're all spread out, apart from each other here. But Linda, that you surprised me. And guess what? The young woman across the street is getting married later this afternoon. So when they all come out of their house, there it says, a very good marriage tip, if you want to think about it. Keep laughing, Jeannie. So thanks for doing that. I just started laughing when I saw it. Had no idea. And I would have gotten out there to get the paper sometime today. But we had a house guest last night, and now I'm going to introduce you to her. I've had 3 Jeanne Robertson humor contests, and they were won by Karen Ruth White out in Colorado, and Tara Brown from the lower southern Charlotte area, and Debbie Childers, and she won it 2 years ago. And she has driven up, had a wreck on the way. I mean, we can't get out of this, but she's going to be a guest today. We're going to tell you lots of things, and you have sent in great questions. So she's okay. She's okay because Patrick came and crawled up under her car and got this fixed. Debbie Childers, would you come on? Yay, Debbie! Have a seat. Have a seat. So Debbie is in comedy. She lives in Austell, Georgia. I didn't say that proud. But you grew up in Leeds, Alabama.
That's right.
Okay, just cut to the chase. Forget all the questions.
You're gonna ask me about Charles
Are you going to be
Barkley.
able to introduce me to
I'm
Charles
working
Barkley?
on it. I'm
Okay.
working on it. He does now know that I'm trying to get him to call you. So
So
somebody
we're
got
6
texted.
people away.
And I have Amy on my phone just in case he were to call. Bob.
Okay. Oh, sure. Amy is her daughter who was working on the computer when you ran over a tire in the highway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the tire,
And it pulled off the bottom
pulled
part of the
everything
car.
off the
Yeah.
bottom, but not quite off the bottom.
Just for your husband and son-in-law, it's not going to cost you any money.
Okay.
It wasn't the entire
That's good to
bottom.
know.
It was just a
Well,
cover.
This thing's
Good to know.
100-degree.
It sounded like the bottom.
I said, Patrick, can you please come over here? They may have picked up a tire and it's in the car. We don't know. It's dragging on the ground. Patrick came over and was down on
Under the car.
cement
Yeah.
under the car. And now I realize that I said something to you, Patrick, that probably sounds ridiculous, but it didn't to me when I explained. I said, do you want a blanket? Now it's 100 degrees.
No, but you have some earmuffs.
So the truth is, I was thinking because there were rocks in the driveway and he was stretched out right with a flashlight trying to see what's going on, that he might want to be on top of a blanket. But
Right.
Patrick said, no, I don't want a blanket. Now I realize.
But I tend to make a good first impression on that.
I know it.
Yeah.
Now, people probably think we've been friends forever because, we've gotten to know each other this last year. So let's tell them because they're going to ask.
Okay.
The first time you were aware of me and the first time I was aware of you.
The first time I was aware of you was back in the early 90s. I was the United Way chairman for a hospital where I was working in Tennessee. They sent me to a brunch where you were the speaker. I'd never heard of you before. In fact, I think
Did I do well?
you did
Oh.
you did so well that I came out of there, and you can ask my husband this. I came out of there with my life changed. I said, that's what I want to do the rest of my life.
Great.
Yep.
Great.
And that was in the early 90s.
Oh my gosh. So early
Yeah.
90s, early teens.
Yeah.
20-some years ago. Okay. And then you took your husband.
Yeah.
Y'all
To Athens to see you and Carl Hurley.
Carl Hurley.
Yeah.
We had a show at the Classic.
Yeah, we
Center.
took a group of senior
1,800
adults.
people
Mhm.
sold out. I
Yep.
remember it. Where were you seated in that show?
And the top.
Okay.
We were way at the top.
Okay. Why didn't you call me then and say, I want to do what you do?
I don't know. To me, you were like, wow, if only I could ever meet her. And last night it was just really, I thought, I am literally spending the night in this woman's house.
Did you wash your sheets this morning and get that?
I did not.
No. Okay.
You
Check her
didn't give
suitcase for towels.
Check, I know. Oh, because last night Tony and her husband Tom and you with your daughter Amy, who came up here with you, and Patrick and Leslie and I went out to eat in a room. We were the only people in the room sitting far away
It's
from
probably
each
a
other.
good thing.
It was because we were shouting.
Yeah.
And but that was fun. But you could have called me then and said, I want
I
to do
know.
what you do.
You know what I did do then? I got your address from somebody that knew you, and I sent you that Southern Belle primer.
You
Because
sent me a gift.
I sent you a gift. Yeah.
Did I
And
respond?
you did. You wrote me a thank you note, and I held on to it forever.
Tony said that's a miracle.
Tony
I
probably
tried
sent
to,
it.
but I kind of.
She probably sent it.
So here's what happened. The contest, the first year you didn't enter. And the second year you entered, and we had 9 judges around the country that never got together. Everybody filled out ballots independently. And I was not one of them until it got down to 10 people. And I said, well, I'll see the top 10.
Yeah.
And you were really funny and you won. But you didn't even want to enter that.
No. My Sunday school class, 2 women in particular, just said, you have to do this. And a friend of mine had been a friend for several years, even in another church named Trevania.
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 In the
And
South?
oh yes. And she just kept saying, you have to do this. You have to do this. And so she finally taught me into it. My husband has always said I needed to do comedy. I've done like civic events, speaking for that, motivational kind of speaking and that kind of stuff. Which I've heard your song about motivational speakers, by the way. And so I've done that kind of thing for years. But Tim always said you need to do comedy.
Let me fill y'all in on a little more information. Tim, her husband, is a Baptist minister.
Yeah.
And he forced her 2 years. He said,
Yeah.
we will take something in the church.
Yep, he did.
And you had a program.
I thought, 34 people come, and there were like over 200 people there.
Well,
I
I'm
was
going
shocked.
to tell you what Left Brain always told me, but they were free tickets.
They were free.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
They
were
sold
free,
out.
yeah.
He'll say,
I have not
free.
sold it out anytime except the time it was free.
Can
Well,
I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Your husband Tim just said he was the one who told you that.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
That's the truth.
You know that. So then, when the winner was described, the Nashville people were on one phone in Nashville. We were conference calling. And he had set up a time for us to call. And you were down at the beach because your grandson was
Yeah, I was on
sworn
Paris
into the
Island.
Marines.
Yeah, he was graduating from boot camp.
Okay. And he's
On Paris
already
Island. Yeah, he
What?
just got promoted to meritorious promotion to corporal.
okay. From all many of us, I never can speak for everybody, but we appreciate your service.
Well, I have a
Everybody.
grandson-in-law that's in the Air Force too. So,
Oh my gosh, we
so,
appreciate
yeah,
his service
his
too.
too. Yeah.
Okay, so when we called, now listen to this. They were all around her. I was supposed to call at a certain time. So you sort of suspected she may be coming second.
Yeah, I thought, maybe I placed.
Okay, so we called and she started squealing, and she said, I'm here with all Auburn. Everybody in this room pulls for Auburn. And I said, You're an Auburn person? I mean, here I am in the
No.
contest. Well, but you didn't make it clear.
Right.
She
I
led
just
me
said-
to believe at that point she was an Auburn fan. She's not an Auburn fan.
No, I'm not. I'm an
But-
Alabama fan.
But everybody
From
in
birth.
her family, as everybody else is. And by the way, just for you Auburn people and football fanatics, her grandson is named Tucker after Tucker.
Yeah.
And
It's
so
a great disappointment in my life that they all went to the dark side.
I know it. And then Doc Griffith, who was playing at Auburn in the 61, 62, 63, and 64, is her daughter's father-in-law. So the Auburn goes, but not with you.
No, me.
I know.
No.
So
No,
you
my
pulled for
Uncle
Jack
Wayne is
State?
watching this, and he would be very upset if he thought I was even talking about Auburn.
Oh, okay.
We
well,
come from a long line of
well,
Alabama
Uncle
fans.
Long line of trash. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so the
Yeah, but I went to
questions-
Jacksonville.
So I pulled a couple of questions, and then the rest are in here. And you pulled for Jacksonville. Do you pull for anyone else in the state of Alabama?
Just Alabama.
Just Alabama. That's what.
Always.
Serious mistake was made on
Yeah.
the contest. No, I'm kidding. So this is a question that about 10 people asked when we throw them in the bucket. If they say, hey, I'm from Montgomery, hello, I'm from Chicago, hello, that's not a question.
Right.
So it goes into the door prize bucket, but these
not
are the
the question.
questions. A lot of people ask this question. And the very first question that came in when I said I'm calling for questions was Chris Christine Perry.
Mhm.
And she has been between 40 and 50 of my shows.
Yeah.
She's been to more
Christine
shows.
and Lee.
Christine and Lee
Yes,
from
I will.
Tennessee.
More of them.
Or as Lefbrain said, these two people are here, and when let's see their names, because he had memorized it. Their names are Lee and Christine from Abilene. I said, no, honey. So this is it. Now, and I'm just asking, how has your career changed since winning Jeannie's contest? I did not write that question.
Oh, wow.
Did it do you any good at all?
Did it do me any good? Yes. I was going gangbusters till the virus hit. I mean, things were just really beginning to just really, I'd been able to do several things, several events, and had been on stage with you a couple of times. And that was just like, I mean, that was the night that I was just, I am literally on stage with this woman.
No, but you really was by yourself because the winner got to choose where he or she wanted to perform. And she's from Austell, Georgia. And so she chose, it was coming up, the show in Athens at the Classic Center.
Yeah.
The same place you saw me years ago.
I had seen it with Carl Hurley.
And walked out in front of 800 people, many of her friends, and you hit a home run, as has and you think you were going gangbusters till the virus.
Yeah.
Sarah Brown, who won last year, was in Dallas. That's where she chose.
Yeah.
No, Tara Brown.
Tara,
Tara Brown. And she hit a home run too, and then bam,
Yeah.
2 weeks later, it just hadn't been over.
I went to Dry Bar Comedy, and that was, I recorded with them, and that was the last show they did. I was that Saturday night, and they closed the next morning.
Okay. And
so it's been, so since then, none of us have done anything.
So you telling me, you telling Patrick?
Yeah. But up until then, my life had changed.
And all of our lives have changed if you were in entertainment.
Yep.
But the Nashville people, Al McCree and his crew, who book my theater shows, are booking some.
Right.
So one of the people said, "Do you ever plan to do theater shows?" Well, we all plan to do more theater shows if we can actually do it. So I wanted to get that question out of the way. We're not lifetime friends. We may sound alike.
Yeah.
And when she said she was from Leeds, Alabama, and I said, well, one of the people that I would choose to spend an afternoon with is Charles Barkley. and you're 6 people away.
Yeah, 6 degrees of separation.
Okay.
I did not know him. He was a good bit younger than me. My brother knew him. And
he loved in Leeds?
Oh,
He's
loved in Leeds. Yeah.
If you don't know,
he beat my daddy for Citizen of the Year.
Tell him why.
Because he had just completely redone and refurbished and bought all new playground equipment for the Leeds Elementary School.
That'll do it.
So that'll do it. Yeah, yeah.
That'll do it every time.
Yeah, but
so
he's
a
great guy.
Away from maybe getting to meet you. Just sit, if you knew he was going through an airport or something, I'd just stand if you tell me what concourse he was going to be on.
My brother actually flew on a plane years and years ago. And he came on the plane, and they switched seats around, and
he got to sit with him.
Yeah.
Well, good for him. That other person would have been aggravated they had to move or not.
Exactly.
I don't know. Okay, let me see if I had another one in here. No, so let's get to the questions if you want to, and we'll go through them, and we'll give prizes away in a little while.
Can I answer one that came in this morning first?
On your they were still coming in.
Yeah, somebody sent me a message this morning. She said, it was my friend Cindy from Alabama, and she said, how many pairs of shoes do you have now? Well, anybody that knows me knows that I love shoes. Shoes are my friend. I wear the same size I wore in high school, and I can't say that about anything else. But she said, how many pairs of shoes you get? Now, I used to be embarrassed to tell people how many pairs of shoes I had because I had so many. I am not anymore because I've seen your closet. My number of shoes in no way compares
to
the number of shoes I saw last night.
Oh, my God. When you wear a size 11, you don't give them away.
That's true.
Unless you meet
you hang on to them.
Who says,
look who's here.
Well, look who's here.
Well, look, I think I figured this out.
You figured out when we didn't tell you.
My best chance is unannounced.
Okay. This is Norma Rose.
I knew who Norma Rose was.
And Debbie.
Yes, ma'am.
Say hello. And a few weeks ago, I said to Jeannie, friends, our friends, our friends.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking. It's right here. I'm talking to you, dear. And you're already my friend.
Thank you.
But
But that's your bestest friend.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I
look
don't
around
know.
that neck. We got that in Savannah
Well,
last year.
I'm decked out.
Show everybody your grocery
I
store
like
shopping
that.
hat.
I was gonna say, I like your
I'm
hat.
going to the grocery
You're
store.
not really going to the
I am
grocery
going
store.
to the grocery store.
Oh, come on.
And I go to Walmart and I get lots of compliments. If I get sorted down, I go to Walmart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
Anyway, but
Amy goes to
No,
Target.
Norma, when you were on last time, you said I'm going to the grocery store. You just dropped in one day
and I am today.
and people wrote and said, "Tell me she's not dressed up like that to go to the grocery store." I said, "Yeah, she does. Not the rest of us, but Norma Rose does go."
Are you going somewhere after?
I'm going shortly to the grocery store. But y'all, I got a few things I'm getting out of here because
Okay.
there's not enough minutes today for y'all to tell
Okay.
your story.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go on, as they say, relinquish my time. But I got two things, Debbie, before we actually talk.
Yes.
One, I was a former Baptist, and I was
A former Baptist.
and I took home economics.
Did you really?
So
Did
the
you?
concept-
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I did not.
But I heard some. I thought
It's-
you told some stories.
I did. About a home economics
Oh, I
textbook.
got some more.
Yes. Oh, good.
But because
Norma,
of
you
those,
give me the funny material.
okay,
You call Debbie. Give
we
her.
got to have some.
Yeah, we do.
We need some brown room. See.
I like that idea. We do. We need to meet and talk.
All right,
But-
before you go, I want to tell
But
you
I got two
something.
things I will tell. Because of those two things, I am still SEWING and SOWING.
Oh, you plant too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good for you.
So I got a lot of stories.
Oh, stories.
Stories.
So, all right, so two Saturdays ago, Beaver was here. The minute that show was over, we headed towards Savannah to go to flea markets, and
With Jane
we
Tupper.
cut with Jane Tupper. We cut from Columbia to I-95 on I-26, and we had a wreck.
You had a wreck.
Shouldn't have been there. We were involved in a wreck. It was my fault.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, and the patrolman came fast, nicest people. I'm telling you, South Carolina Highway Patrol, they were everywhere. And
Always.
before we could turn around.
It's the only place I've ever gotten
And
a ticket.
the man, I said, "Here comes the highway patrol." And we started to get out of the car. And he said, "Ladies, if y'all would just get back in the car, that would be better." So we got back in the car. He said, "Are you okay?" And Norma said, "I'm okay." And I said, "I'm fine. How about the people I hit?" You know, there was a rubberneck in
At
another
least I
wreck.
didn't hit anybody.
Oh, and she said, "They're fine. I'll be back. Stay in the car." They didn't want the people involved to get, maybe just
Yeah.
bam, hit you or you hit me. And I just did. And in a few minutes, I said, "Here he comes back." Now, Norma, listen to me. You can hear how she talks with Southerners. I said, "Listen to me. You keep your mouth shut. And let's just handle this." And I said, he's going to ask me for papers. And the correct thing is you don't reach into your glove compartment. You say, "May I open the glove compartment?" And she said, "All right, you want me to say that?" And I said, "No, I'll handle this." And he comes back and the window goes down. "Do you have your license?" "Yes." "Do you have your papers and everything?" And before I get my mouth to say more, Norma leans over and says, "May we look into the glove compartment?" And we did. It was a mess. We were all okay and no one was hurt.
And that was the good thing. Y'all keep talking.
Oh, you're the Baptist she took to Vegas.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
That was one of my
Yeah.
Baptist days, but
Yeah.
that's some other days. I didn't give it up. So anyway, good luck.
Bye.
And I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Nice to meet
Bye.
you.
See you, Norma Rose. We never know.
Yeah.
We never know. Did you know she was coming, Tony? Tony, did you know she was coming? Patrick, did you know she was coming?
Never.
I just, okay, I'm gonna draw out a question and then, all right, here we go, and see what you can do. Answer any way that you want to do. What is
Do you
it?
have somebody else a question?
Yeah, Uncle Wayne
Oh,
would like
no.
to know who your favorite uncle is, and he said, remind you that he is redoing the will.
So who is your favorite?
Well, Uncle Wayne is my favorite uncle, and I'm his favorite niece. I would just like to put that out there where there's no other nieces that can
I know,
argue with that.
not
right now.
here.
Yeah.
They're not
I
here.
was, but I always knew I was his favorite.
Okay, this is a question to me and you. I want you to answer it. What were you like in your school days? Were you the class clown?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah, I was like this. Yeah, I've always been like this.
And
I've
I
always
was-
been the entertainer at the party, always. Just,
And I was
and Tim
not.
is
I just
too.
was not. I
Yeah.
mean, I lurked and watched
Right.
it all. And when I got taller, and I got funny in about a week.
yeah.
But
No, we've always been. When we get in the car, when we leave a party, we look at each other and say, we talked too much, didn't we?
well,
We
of
always
course.
take over at a party.
Of course. Okay, I'll put that in there. All right, another question. Let's see which one this is. Well, when did you first realize you were funny? Apparently, you
Yeah,
did in the womb.
Yeah.
Okay.
My daddy was real funny. And we kind of entertained before I even met Tim. You know, Daddy and I would be the entertainers at a party.
And I want to ask you this because, I mean, I cannot imagine myself being married to a Baptist minister or any minister. When you married him, he wasn't a
He was
minister.
not a preacher. No, I did not marry a preacher.
Okay.
I did not. He pulled that trick on me years later.
Okay.
10 years later.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. We
So
already
then
had.
you couldn't
Amy
have
had
any
clay.
wine or anything.
Right.
I know. Whoa, your whole life.
When you need it most.
I know, but you can't do it. Well, I think that's great. I have happened to have been with Tim several times, and he's
Yeah.
neat too.
Oh, he
You know,
is. He's-
people.
Yeah, he's not.
This answers
He's
that
not
question.
preachery.
No. Does she have an LB in her life also?
No, he is right brain.
That's right.
He's, yeah,
Okay. Well,
we are
Really
so much
neat.
alike.
okay. Here. What was Norma Rose doing back in the kitchen? She's getting stuff out of the pantry. Okay. Here it is. Okay. When did you started this humorous path? But at what point? I'll tell you what she said to me when she won the contest, and we were talking on the phone several times, and she chose Athens. She said, Jeannie, is there a way to make money in this business? And I said, yes. You know, I used to teach. You can make money in this. And she said, I need to do that. She said, I have been speaking in church circles for years, and I'm tired of getting paid in hand lotion and love offerings and all of that.
So funny. I got a text from my friend Beth right before this, and it said, I know you're so excited after all that goat milk lotion.
Okay, no,
You deserve this.
but that night my show was in Greenville, South Carolina, and the next night we drove to Athens with the Nashville people, Al and Peggy.
Mhm.
McCree. And so we stopped when we got off the interstate, got down there and went into one of the big places. We bought as much hand lotion as
You
we
did.
could buy and
Brought
put
me
it
a
in the
big old
package
thing of hand
and
lotion.
left it in your dressing
My dressing
room.
room. That blew my mind. I have a dressing room.
And when we were getting ready to say, well, you can make a little money with this, COVID virus came.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I got to tell you, that money question was from Tim.
was it?
Yeah, he's the one where I'm enjoying having fun, but he's the one.
But
He
you do a
said,
lot.
"You are my cash cow now.
I
You're
am.
my hope."
Sugar
me.
mama,
he
sugar
said you.
mama.
No, yeah, you are my hope for retirement.
Okay. Well, you deserve everything. And but you for years had done a lot of women's
Right,
church retreats.
yeah.
But then somebody wrote in and said, I heard you at the Alabama Hospital Auxiliary
Uh-huh.
meeting. So you were
Yeah, I was
beginning
doing. I
with
was
no
doing a lot
help
of
from
that.
me,
Yeah,
beginning to move
Yeah.
into the
yeah.
and you do realize that as we sit here and talk about this, there's somebody
I hope so.
in who's thinking, I can do this.
I hope so.
I know I can do this. All right, let me see what the next question.
Yeah, in fact, I think somebody asked that on one of the
How do you do
updates
it?
you did was, how do you get into that?
Okay, you must know about this, and I put up 3 of your clips this week to introduce you to my people, my people,
My
it was that I love so much. But so I know what it says. Debbie, did you ever take your son's advice and get fitted for a beeper?
Oh my goodness. There's a story behind that.
The choir robes? Is
No.
that
Oh,
I know the story. But you backed up and you didn't
I
have
backed
a beeper.
up. Right, I didn't have a beeper, and
That'll suffice.
yeah.
Well, you
And
know
my
what
son
to ask.
said maybe you ought to get a beeper
I know.
on that thing.
Back.
Yeah, beep, 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 beep. I'm backing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I almost sat on somebody. We'll just say that.
Okay. All right. Now, this is another question from the smiley face. How did Debbie get started in comedy? The same thing.
Yeah,
You just
the
got
contest,
because
yeah.
your husband was a minister.
Yeah, and I've always done. Even like when I teach Bible studies, I always have put comedy in them. And anytime I'd go speak at a hospital or something like that, I'd always have, half of it would be comedy.
Okay, okay. Well, that explains. I don't know how they're just interested in it. All right, this is a little different slant. Jeannie,
Scary.
this is a question to you and to Debbie. What has been your favorite restaurant while touring? I thought it was what we had here for breakfast today. Didn't
That's
you?
pretty good.
Biscuitville.
Shuffle on down to Biscuitville, yeah.
I don't know about you,
I
but
kept thinking about Justin Timberlake. Shuffle on down to Biscuitville.
well, if you're in a hotel by yourself, you don't have a car. Your favorite restaurant is the one you can walk to or
Right,
get to.
yeah.
Now you can Uber places and do kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to eat in Austell? But you might be careful. They asked me that about Graham.
In Austell?
I wouldn't say one over the other.
Yeah,
That's true.
there's several good ones. The Marietta Diner is a chain of restaurants, and they're all good. And in Austell, we have their Italian restaurant, which is called Pasta Bella, and their Mexican restaurant.
I never heard of Marietta Diner. I know Marietta, Georgia.
Oh, mercy. Will you, next time
Where
you're in
do they
Atlanta,
serve?
we'll go to Marietta Diner. That's where we eat with Al and Beck every time they come. We eat at
So
Marietta
low
Diner.
price.
No,
I'm kidding.
no, it is. I mean, it's very reasonable, but
Okay.
it's good.
All right, and here's the second one. What advice do you have to anyone who wants to go into comedy? I know what I would say. What would you say?
At first, take anything you can get, and
Patrick, do
big-
you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just to get the experience, and then even if you're going to get hand lotion
Mhm.
as a reward. But I would also say if something funny happens to you, write it down, and because you can always build on that story and make
Well,
that funny. I don't tell jokes. I tell real life stories.
And that's what I would say, that there are great jokes tellers
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them. I've never heard you tell an out and out
Yeah.
joke. But the people who do them, Carl Hurley,
Yeah.
could tell you a joke.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh, I could do it.
You could have heard.
I got a
it 20
repertoire of
times,
jokes.
do you? But I don't tell jokes.
Yeah.
And I would say to you, write your own material, look around you every
Yeah.
day. If it's a funny story, but you don't have a punchline, save the story
Yeah.
anyway. I had to wait 29 years
Yeah.
for A Mother's Revenge to get a punchline. And you don't copy anybody else, because if they want them, they'll book them.
Yeah.
And you don't need a meeting planners or people saying, she's doing Bob Newhart's material.
Yeah.
It doesn't work over the long haul. Maybe years ago you could get away with hearing a speaker out west and coming back south and telling it.
Yeah. Not in the
now.
days of the internet.
Well, so, no, so
That punchline thing, that story that I do, the duct tape and dryer vent,
yes.
when I entered it in the contest, I didn't have the punchline. I didn't have the ending. And I entered it anyway because the content was funny, but I always felt like something was missing from the end of it.
Yeah.
And then later on, I got the punchline for it. And so, but I haven't re-recorded it since then.
Y'all know what just hit me? I've not been given the names of the people asking the questions today. So
Or give me books.
I'll do that. Is it time to give away a book, Tony? And then we got a surprise for you. We'll do these others. Okay, want to give away? All right, I'm gonna give away one of my books that apparently, if they want, they have to call our 800. Should I give the 800?
Email.
No,
They can email
email
me,
you.
Tony at Jeanne Robertson.
Tony@JeannieRobertson.com. The Jeannie doesn't have an I in it. But this is the new book. It came out. I asked y'all to send me your corrections. You have, and now the book's being corrected. But now people have decided they want the limited edition first book
Yeah, that's what I
with
want.
the errors. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
But we'll give this book, and I'm going to draw out of this sack, because these are people that sent in questions that just said, "I'm from Montgomery," but that's not a question. So I'm just going to reach down in here and find a name. And this is from past weeks too. And the first winner of the book is Helen Blair. Okay, I think Helen Blair writes every week, doesn't she, Tony? Don't you? Is Helen Blair
I don't know
familiar?
that I recognize her.
I sort of recognize. So how does Helen Blair get this book? I'll sign it.
She emails me.
Did Tony just walk into the kitchen?
She did. She just said,
And you thought the
In the
show
middle
was
of your
going
I feel
well.
like I should write her name
I
down.
know. Helen Blair.
Okay.
And Helen, congratulations. If you have already, see, I've seen this name. If she already has a book and wants us to sign this to a friend, I'll be glad to, or we'll send you a DVD,
Right.
whatever you
But
want.
she needs to email me with her address.
Email
and her
Tony with the
preference.
address. And we're gonna do another one right now. Whoops, wrong side. Come down in here. And this is for Charlene Bowling. Bowling. Woo, Charlene, I can hear you. So excited. And you get a copy of the book, and the same thing goes if you want. She also, listen to her question. Where can I find the story of when you hired your administrative assistant? That would be you, Tony. What tape is that on?
Hiring Tony.
Hiring
What
Tony.
tape? It's on Flat Out Funny.
Flat Out Funny.
But it's
at
on
the Paramount.
YouTube.
And it's also on YouTube.
She
So
good.
hiring Tony, I know.
she
I
good.
know. She's very good. Okay, now what we're gonna do right now is, I have a surprise for you, since your husband's a Baptist minister and you're a big Baptist in your church, remember? Now, big no, but if you're the minister's
Swell.
wife, I don't believe I could be a minister's wife.
Oh, yeah.
You could, well, I'll just let you keep
I
practicing.
tell you, I've never had a church that didn't accept me just like I am. They
I
all do.
think they'd be glad to have you, just like you are. But especially to marry somebody who wasn't, and what, he couldn't get a job, what'd he do?
No, he was pretty good at what he did.
Did, but,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
He was-
Patrick, would you sing this song?
I will.
Okay. Okay. Did you hear this? This is just for you, dear.
Oh,
Should I look into your eyes?
look into my eyes. I'll sing to you. Well, I've had so much fun getting to know you and your daughter Amy. Last night we went to dinner and just had a great time. And I knew that Debbie was my people pretty quick. And
Yeah, when you were under my car.
that's right. When I was under your car and you were inside sipping on a glass
Yeah,
of ice tea.
because it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
I
But
said, do we have to stay here with him?
but you know, I got to know a little bit about you, and I knew that you were the wife of a Baptist minister, and I grew up in a Southern Baptist church. I am not a Southern Baptist now because I married a Methodist.
Yeah.
And I've learned that a Baptist can go Methodist, but there ain't no way a Methodist going
Nah,
Baptist.
I don't know. My daddy did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you just want to step on that little punchline, aren't you?
Yeah,
Just-
I did. I just had to. See,
But
my mother is watching.
Oh, okay.
She would have said, "Why didn't you say your daddy did?"
Yeah. Your mother sounds like my mother.
Yeah.
My mother called me
What a
from
setup.
My mother called me from Costco this morning. I'm 49 years old. She goes, "There are T-shirts in here. Are you an XL or a double X?" I said, "Mama, just make it."
That is like my mother. She buys me stuff all the time.
But anyway, I wrote a song about. I still have great memories of growing up in a Baptist church, and my mother, who still lives in Alabama, is a member of the First Baptist Church of Opelika, and
I know it will.
she and her friends, we call them the posse. Now, a posse is, if you look it up, it's a group of people who will track you down and tie you up. And in their case, they will do the same thing, but they don't use a rope. They use a prayer chain.
Oh,
And I've got the lyrics here in front of me because I wrote this song a while ago, and I don't want to forget the words.
yeah.
There's a tie that binds the South together. It's there for you if you're in distress or pain. It goes on and on forever. It's the washed in the blood, pray for your brother. All saints lifting up each other. John 3:16, praise Jesus. Southern Baptist Church prayer chain.
Every church has
It's
one.
there for you at most any hour. Healing's but a phone call away. No escaping from the wonder-working power of the washed in the blood. Pray for your brother. All saints lifting up each other. John 3:16, praise Jesus. Southern Baptist Church prayer chain. If your best friend's nephew's doing time, or the bunco group drinks too much wine, church ladies hit the phone, then hit their knees. From indigestion to insurrection, it's a hedge of heavenly protection. From the washed in the blood, pray for your brother. All saints lifting up each other. John 3:16, praise Jesus. Southern Baptist Church prayer chain. Sound familiar?
Oh, yeah.
Sunday night church service is over. Dawn breaks and the morning calls begin. By the time the second cup of coffee's down, a dragnet spread across the town. From the washed in the blood, pray for your brother. All saints lifting up each other. John 3:16, praise Jesus. Southern Baptist Church prayer chain. Oh, it gets better.
Okay, what?
Did you hear that Francine's husband left her? Miss Vogel passed to the hereafter. Ruby's daughter's in the family way. Frank's grandson got caught smoking pot. Bob Slocum's best bird dog got shot. For all these things, dear Lord, we humbly pray. The good word says we must bear witness, even if we're in each other's business. Our Christian duty demands faithfulness. After all, it's not gossip if it's a prayer request. From the washed in the blood, pray from your brother. All saints lifting up each other. John 3:16, praise Jesus. Southern Baptist Church prayer chain.
Okay, what? Well, you got to hear this. My mother runs the prayer chain.
She
in
runs
her
it,
church
okay.
to this day. And when I'm there, something will happen, and she'll get on the phone and she'll call all the heads of that chain and say, "Start the chain,
Activate it.
activate the chain."
Activate it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They work.
She called me one day and told me that somebody had died, and that they were getting the food together and all that. And about 2 hours later, she called me back and she said, "Well, she wasn't dead."
Call off the chain.
Call off the
Call off the
chain. That's
chain.
right. Call
Now,
off the chain.
now I grew up Presbyterian and now I'm Methodist. Do we do that?
No.
I didn't think so. Why do y'all do it and we don't do it?
I don't know. It's a Baptist
Because
thing.
if it helped you, you know.
It's a Baptist thing,
anything
like the
that'll
potluck
help.
suppers and the can't dance and all that.
Oh, Norma Rose went to Wake Forest back when they could not dance.
Yeah.
And one day the students protested and got off the curb into the street and danced. This is the way she
Well-
said they danced.
If you ask any Baptist leader, they'll tell you there is nowhere in Baptist history that's ever been a rule. But it's just something that just got started.
Oh, they did get started with it.
My mother
I just
dances.
love-
She's Baptist to the bone.
What was it? I went, tell me that place up in Pittsburgh that said, I said, I will not speak in December. I'm going to take December off and everything. You called and said this church wanted me to come on December 1st, which meant I don't get home till December 2nd. And I said, now, Tony, we said I wasn't going to go in December. She said, I told them that. But they called back and they said, had I ever thought that if November had 31 days, I wouldn't be speaking.
That's pretty smart.
That's
Yeah.
pretty smart. But what was interesting was each woman in the church was to bring a woman who wasn't in that church to prove that you could have fun in church.
Yeah.
I thought it was an
That's a
interesting
great idea.
concept,
Yeah.
so I'm sure this. I would
I think that's a
guarantee
great idea.
everywhere Tim's been a minister,
It's
and with
been
you
fun.
there,
It's
yeah.
been fun.
All right, here's another question from Mary Beth Mays. Okay. Oh, because do you ever come here, there? I do sometime, but it's not. I'm gonna throw the questions toward Debbie. I put this here for another time. Now everybody's wondering what was on that question. What was that? What was that about? Okay. Lee Ann Pearson. Can't wait to see Debbie Childers. I went to JSU
Excellent.
with her. We both lived on the second floor at Sparkman Hall, sorority floor.
Yeah.
What sorority were you in?
Phi Mu.
Tony was a family.
Yep.
I was an Alpha Gamma. The Jeannie, I saw you in Huntsville. You are fantastic. But do you remember this person?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, so
Yeah.
many times
Cute
people
girl.
will say, "You'd help me in the third grade," you know, or
Right.
not.
Yeah, we did. We lived on the same floor.
And y'all had a lot. Were you trouble?
We had a lot. Oh, of course we were.
I know. Because you didn't know you were going to marry a Baptist minister.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Every time I hear that song from back in that day, that "Oh, what a night," I always think about the second floor
Okay.
at Sparkman Hall.
All right. What is the difference? Okay. Now, Tony grew up in Birmingham. Amy, you grew up in Asdale?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Patrick
We were in
grew up in
ministry, she
Auburn. I grew up in North Carolina by Alabama parents. This is the question. And you grew up, at Leeds.
In Leeds.
What do you see different between the good Carolina folks and those good folks of Alabama? Seeing that you mentioned your guest, Debbie, exudes class.
You said that?
I did. I was trying
You
to get
didn't
up
know me.
the
That was
crowd.
before I spent the night.
Okay, what's the difference in people in North Carolina, people in
Not a lot.
No. Small town, no, I
Yeah.
don't think it's a lot. And now up here, they do not care who wins the Auburn Alabama game.
Oh, no, they care now.
No,
You got to take
I
a
know.
side in
Clear
Alabama.
Carolina, do you?
Yeah. It's that way in every state. There's no
It is.
state that has an in-state rivalry like
I know.
Alabama
And
does.
I always say without each other, it wouldn't be as much fun.
Yeah.
So that was not.
I have a
what
theory about that. I think it's because we don't have professional sports or theater.
I know.
Well,
Okay. We
maybe.
had theater. I was in Steel Magnolias.
Well, that's true.
That's true. You made it count. Okay. You must get this. I don't. Marlene Warren. Question for Debbie. What is your favorite Marietta story? Marietta.
Well,
Marietta to those of you from
Yeah.
other places, Georgia.
or Dim's mother used to call it Marita.
Marietta. But what do you have a Marietta story?
That would all be church stories. The whole thing there. We actually live in Austell, which is out of Marietta, but our church is in Marietta. So everything we had in Marietta would be church stories.
Well,
And there's lots of those.
Well, this morning I posted another clip about you.
Yeah.
Trying to drum up
The
our
church
business.
stories. Yeah.
Anybody listening out there, Patrick? And I put up the church stories.
Yeah.
They really are funny.
Yeah. Well,
And you can
there's
tell-
always funny church stories.
And then just think of the ones you can't tell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know.
Some of them I can't tell till people die.
I know. So if your church members know each other well and they know that you can't tell till somebody, do they come hustling to your house after the potato salad and the chicken is gone to say, tell us what you know?
Tell us what you know.
No. Well,
No, they say, don't tell what you know.
all right, now you have, your daughter has 5, Amy has 5 children.
Yep, my son has 2.
Son, do your grandsons have your sense of humor? This is Janet Britt.
They're all different. Maddie, the oldest girl, has definitely a sense of humor. Carolina, the youngest, is probably going to be a comedian. She's not but 4, and she absolutely is the funniest child I've ever seen in my life. And then Mallory's funny, but in a completely different way. Macy too. Samuel is dry. Tucker is hilarious.
Have you ever
Tucker's
seen a
hilarious.
grandmother work in all the names?
Oh, you got to. You work in one of them, you got to
And
work
you
them
got to
all.
work them
Except
all.
Cash, I didn't work him in.
And
So
Cash?
Cash is the
For Johnny
9-year-old.
Cash?
No, they just like Cash.
He's
Yeah, well-
aspirational.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got a little Cash.
Well,
in there.
and of course,
But he's
Ryder's
9 and
great.
the baseball player, and he's funny too, but not like Carolina. Carolina is just I've never seen one like
Why
that.
would you name one of your children Carolina?
Well, they're all C's. It's Clay, Candy, Cash, and they had to have another hard C sound that was a thing, because Clay's a thing and Candy's a thing and Cash is a thing. So Carolina.
They didn't
Only
they
in
didn't
the
name it
South.
Yeah,
Cookie.
only in the South. Yeah,
Cookie.
yeah, it could have been Cookie. Yeah,
Well, okay.
Carolina.
But
They also love
did
Hilton
you
Head.
see it?
so-
Once she's mentioned a couple of names,
Yeah.
she went right through the list.
Yeah,
Good grandmother.
I
Good
am.
grandmother.
I am.
Okay.
If I'm good at anything, it's being a grandma.
Okay. All right, here we go. And you are so attractive. Well, I think this is for me.
Yeah, it is for
No.
you. I'm sure it's for you. I am sure that's
That
for
is not
you. No, I'm
I
positive
just
it
said,
is.
I'm sorry.
I'm just
Can't
swell.
help but be funny sometimes. Okay. Have you ever, this is interesting. Have you ever been flirted with while touring? Come on, tell the truth and no name.
Oh, I know that's for you.
No, I looked at this question and I thought that's got to be for her. But I have if somebody has ever flirted with me while I'm touring, they waste their time. I did not notice it.
Yeah,
I'm so in love with left brain.
Yeah.
I just didn't notice it at all.
right.
And so it must be you they're talking about.
No, I'm certain it's not.
You know
me.
what this is? This is one of y'all's helpful attempt to help us get questions. And I thank you so much. No, I wouldn't even catch on what was going on.
I wouldn't
so.
either.
All right.
I'd
here
be
we
so
go.
shocked.
Okay. Sheila Douglas Markham. What modern convenience could you not live without?
Air conditioner.
After this week,
I haven't even said.
after this week, when mine went out.
Oh, mine went out too.
I just washed.
Mine went out the day
after.
after yours did.
Did it? Must be something contagious.
I don't know.
But since you said air
I will die.
conditioner, what modern convenience could you not live without? I think it would be the what's that thing on the clock that you hit and it lets you sleep 10 more
The
minutes?
snooze button.
That's a good invention.
I like that one too.
And you
yeah.
can do it every 3 or 4 minutes for
Yeah.
another hour,
Oh
2
yeah,
hours.
I did it this morning.
And each time I turn my head over and say, I'm going back to sleep. No.
Hey, Jeanne, I got some CDs you can give away.
Okay, let me get, let me have a couple of them. I gotta reach way down there. So here's what happened. I wrote Debbie and said, Debbie, if you have anything to give away, my people like to get presents. And I was telling Patrick about it and he said, well, I have 800 CDs in my closet. And I said, well, for Pete's sake. And this is it, Patrick Henry, Married Man. Is this you? And it's got 19 songs
Tracks.
that you've written.
Some
tracks.
are just comedy tracks.
Okay, so I'm gonna draw a name and you're gonna get this. It's a CD,
Mm-hmm.
so you gotta have a CD player. If you don't like it, then you can tell Tony and she'll send you something. But
If you don't like it, you can use it as a coaster.
It'll hurt your feelings, but they can.
okay. So we're down to 2. I'm sorry, I didn't even. Are they available?
Oh, sure.
Well, where? Tony, call Tony. Everything we do.
Email
Oh,
Tony
no.
if you want to buy a CD.
Okay, all right, there you go, 19 songs. Sheila Douglas Markham, well, she just asked that question. Well, that's fair, I reached back in there and got it. Sheila Douglas Markham, you have just one that says Patrick Henry, Married Man. And if you will contact Tony, she'll get your information and we'll send it to you. Let's do another one. I'm gonna go down in the whole bottom of the bag right here. Okay, and this is from Bobby Bramble. I've always enjoyed your porch visits. Makes me feel like I've had a lovely visit with my family, especially my mom and aunts. And I can't wait to visit in heaven when I join. I'm so sorry. Bless you for sharing these good moments. That makes me actually feel good. Thank you very much. And for you, a Patrick Henry CD of his 19 songs.
So I got your Baptist song on.
Includes
No, that one's new.
that's
They'll go on
new,
the
but
next one.
also this is my favorite, Jesus and John Deere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that one
That's
too.
a good song.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
That's
gonna
one
give
about
away
your
a book.
granddaddy.
I'm gonna put her back in there, Tony. Did you get down Bobby Bramble? Yeah. Okay, we'll put these right here. And I'm gonna go down in here again. We got more questions, more things. Okay, and this book of mine is going to Louise Galashaw. And you just said enjoy her humor. I think they were talking about yours because I said that you were coming.
Nice.
Okay, and so there goes that. Louise Galashaw, Tony, did you spell that? Galleshaw. Shaw. That's what my grandmother used to say. Oh, Shaw. There was a P in front of it.
Pshaw, yeah.
Oh, Shaw. And so I said, can you bring me some things? Now, let me tell you something about Amy, her daughter. Her daughter creates. If you go into, I'll use Auburn as a reference, but I suspect Elon is the same way, and you know we're a big Elon fan. If you go into one of those shops that has all your swag for the college, Amy, you probably designed most of it, didn't you? A good idea. She's being shy, very shy about it. So you don't buy things from Amy, Debbie's daughter. You go into stores all over this country and buy things that she designed. And you remember when you sent me 2 gifts?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were for me. Was one for Tony?
It's supposed to have been. I don't think you ever gave it to her.
I don't believe I did. I told her that they were.
I can verify that. She never
She
gave
never
it to me.
gave you. Yeah.
I know where it is, and in a minute I'll go.
That's
get
why I brought her something this weekend. I never even let you see it. I just gave it to her when she got here last night.
it. Well, what?
It was an Auburn ornament, Christmas ornament.
Well, then you got to give. I'll find the place. You kept saying one of those gifts is mine, but I didn't. So they brought up big things like this, and then you brought up some things from your house that you had been given at places. Now, that's not the kind of gift. We're not doing hand lotion and stuff like that. And then I said, you don't have your DVD?
I don't have one.
And how many YouTube clips do you have up?
About 15.
Okay, girlfriend.
Need to get those made
You
into.
need to have something that you can get more than hand
Yes,
lotion
that's what
for.
Al keeps telling me.
Okay, well, we're right.
Yeah,
What is your YouTube channel called?
Debbie Childers.
Y'all make sure you go subscribe to Debbie Childers' YouTube channel
Yes.
and Jeanne Robertson's.
Yes.
Got to
well,
click
thank
that
you.
subscribe button.
Okay.
And Patrick Henry while you're at it.
Yeah.
But then you said right before we start, and I said, Debbie, you don't have any prizes. And we brought a big thing that you have, but see, we don't know how to ship that. And so, and then she said, well, I've got a Sunday school lesson book,
Bible study.
Bible study book, but you wouldn't want to give that away. I said, do you have them here? And you said, yes, so we have two. So I'm going to give two away. Now, we have a lot of Jewish followers, so they may get, but the Old Testament, you can do this. The basics of life, living in full exchange. But next time you come back, you can bring your Bible study books because everybody needs it, and they give it to their church.
All right.
And
I'll do that.
she's gonna autograph them too.
Yeah, I'll do that.
That'd be great.
Okay.
But I would love it if you would put some of these YouTube clips on. You know,
Yeah,
you
you're
know
right.
what
I
I'm
need to.
saying.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying. So I
Well,
hope
when I start earning some money again, I'll do that.
I know it. Aren't we all? This is it. Okay, and this book has been written by, well, Nancy Norris Collins. And she says, I'm waiting on my copy. I'm not sure if Debbie Childers' Bible study book is what you had in but it's what
You're gonna get it.
So, Nancy Norris Collins. And if you're not interested, give it to your church. And Nancy, please get in touch with Tony.
Oh, is that Collins?
Collins.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have another one, but we'll give that away. I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is fun. Linda Harris, I can't wait to see you in that red dress. Oh, this was
that was
from
from-
the 4th
yeah.
of July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody asked online, did I
hope
like that red dress? And I said, I like anything red.
Yeah, well, there she goes for Alabama. Okay, that's Georgia. Red is Georgia.
It's also, well, crimson.
Crimson
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that other scope.
Yeah.
And Linda Harris, you won this right now. And I'll give one more and we'll do some more questions and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, I was going to show y'all. Y'all fussing about it. Look what I just got. Look, I can be in a crowd or rain and have on my mask under here.
Yeah.
And I need little wipers. It's been raining here all week and that would work.
That would be great.
We're not selling these. We don't have any more. I got one for myself. Patrick got it for me. And so
My granddaughter just graduated from nursing school. She has to wear one of those every day.
So you got people in the
Started her
military
job
and
this
in
week,
nursing school.
She's first week on the job this week.
You
I got
ought
one
to
this-
have a source for a whole lot of material.
Oh, you're right. I do.
Well, the
Grand
clock
story-
over there
grandchildren's
stopped
stories are the
running.
best.
So you want to tell me how much time we've got left? Okay.
Wow,
Great.
that went fast.
Okay. This is a long story. I will tell that next week. And the last, let's get a Debbie Childers. It'll come out here. This little, but look how many we got left. Debbie, will you come back sometime?
I will.
Will you drive her back up there?
Yeah.
Actually, you will
She will
drive.
drive.
You were on your computer when she ran over. I mean, there is a tire in the middle of the road. Let's see if I
tried
can hit
to
it
listen.
broadside.
She said, were you just trying to hit it?
No.
I promise I tried to miss it.
Well, Patrick said, all right, this is from Mary A. Seal. Do you ever wake up with an idea in the middle of the night and have to get up and write it down?
I wish my husband was here to answer this question because he would tell you that I don't keep anything next to me to write down, but when I think of something in the middle of the night, I will grab an old crayon and an envelope or something. I'm always waking up in the middle of the night and writing stuff down.
Sometime when I do it, I do that too, and I can't read it the next morning.
Yeah, that's
what it
I can't
was,
either.
but I sure can't
Yeah.
remember if I
Yeah,
dropped
I don't
something.
either. I have to wake up.
And
But now with
I
my
go to
cell
the
phone,
computer.
see, I
I
can go into my cell
put
phone
it
now.
in here.
Yeah.
I'm on that Neil Steele radio show
Yeah.
every Friday, and I love it. So, but I have to get up at 5, so I always have to say Neil Steele now at 5 o'clock, at 5:15, 5:20, because it starts at 8
yeah.
o'clock. But I have to
Just
press.
keep on pushing
But
that button.
I punch that snooze alarm. Okay, is there anything else we can talk about? I just hope that y'all are glad that I introduced Debbie to her. I'm glad my life had her introduced to me.
Oh, wow.
And you
It's
could.
been great.
I'm doing a lot of things right now. I've been very lucky, and I
Mhm.
just got in early. I got
Yeah.
in for you, and I predict big things for you.
I hope
Don't
so.
you think?
Yeah, but you started a lot younger than I did. Who
Well-
changes careers at 65?
I don't know.
And then hits a virus.
And then
As my
There'll be a
husband
lot
says,
of
we can't
material.
never have nothing.
I know. She said what? I missed it.
He says, we can't never have nothing.
No.
And I promise you, that's what he'll say when I get home.
Well,
with his
Colonel
car.
Sanders started Kentucky Fried Chicken at 65, so you can start a comedy
Did he
career.
really?
Sure did.
Wow, that's good to know.
So stop your complaining.
Get a little string bow tie and go.
Can you tell that speakers who lost all their business in March are getting a little bit
Yeah.
edgy?
Really?
I want to thank you, Tony. Thanks, Amy, for driving up here with her. Next time you drive, don't let her just run right over a tire. Not, what state were you in?
Here.
Yeah, he was
North
in
Carolina.
he was in North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
down here.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
North or
Lisa's living
south?
in our state. Yes, but we got to wrap it up. Patrick, thank you again. Thank you
Thank
for
you, Patrick.
pulling up this song.
For fixing my
For
car.
a Baptist minister's wife in here and fixing her car and coming over here early this morning and doing anything and for giving me getting this for me. But Debbie, good luck to you. Keep them.
Thank you so much.
She's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson. Oh, she's a heck of a lot of fun, Jeanne Robertson.